Hello, thanks for joining me on Life in Surround. Today is a glorious day to be a surround music lover. I get to present to you Let It Be by the Beatles, the deluxe version. This has 5 CDs and a Blu-ray. I've heard most of the content by now. Not all of it super close listening, but at least in the background, out in the car. And it's just a very cool set. I've got positive things to say, so just wanted to take the opportunity, I usually don't, but to say, please like this video. If you in fact do, subscribe, ring the notification bell, leave your comments below. It helps get this channel out to other surround lovers, and it, I guess, is helpful for YouTubers to say that occasionally. So let's get on to this set. I did an unboxing a few days ago, so I'm not going to belabor that, but the set comes in this black slipcase, which is die cut on the front, has your track information, your disc information on the back. It has this very well done book with foreword by Sir Paul. Get an advert for the upcoming book. And for this very set, you get an advert for this set. You get this hype sticker. I always keep the hype sticker. And foreword by Sir Paul, introduction by Giles. Get loads of pictures of the group, promo shots, stuff that was used, stuff that wasn't used, facsimiles of their lyrics, photos of their sessions, rehearsal, and performance, mixing. John Glenn, you get a write-up from him. Then you get track-by-track commentary. You get some credits. Man, it's very well done. I haven't made it through all of it, but I've made it through quite a bit. And they've got pictures of the master tapes. I mean, this book's got it all. This book does it for me. I'll try to find you some master tapes real quick. Here we go. It's got lots of images of the master tapes. This is what they have to go back to get those individual multi-tracks to make a fresh mix for you and for me. The Blu-ray features the album in lossless 5.1 and Dolby Atmos, lossless Dolby Atmos, and as well as lossless high-resolution stereo. Unfortunately, that's all you get. There are no B-sides, singles, nothing except the actual album mixed into fresh stereo, 5.1 and Atmos. Let me see. What else do you get? You get these 6 discs housed in this kind of fold-out array. They each have their own sleeve, which I love. So the Let It Be Blu-ray will probably end up on my wall there, next to Sgt. Pepper's or something. Yeah. No trinkets, no guitar picks, no postcards, nothing like that. It is not cheap. I looked and looked and looked and managed to get my copy for just over $100. This is one of my favorite Beatles albums, though. It could be my favorite. So I had to do it. I had to do it. And let's see. Is it worth it? You can listen to Let It Be, the new stereo mix, or the new Atmos mix, which will down mix to 5.1 if that's the kind of system you have, on streaming services like Tidal, Apple Music. The thing is that streaming Atmos is not lossless. It is compressed. And there's just not the bandwidth possible over a streaming service. If you compare the bandwidth from a Blu-ray to the highest speed that the streaming services are offering, I just don't think it's possible right now. So putting on the Blu-ray, it's the same mix. You get a bit more detail, a bit more definition, particularly in like the depth, extension, and tightness of the bass. some clarity in some of the upper registers. If you put on the streaming Atmos, it's probably going to be an enjoyable experience. I enjoy streaming Atmos, and then I just realized that when I put on the Blu-ray, it's a bit better defined. So at least that is a cheaper alternative. Of course, streaming monthly bills add up, but the idea is that you're listening to a lot of material, and so you're spreading that cost out rather than over $100 for one album. Now, the other CDs come with an alternate version of the material, the Get Back LP. It comes with the Let It Be EP, which is 4 tracks, and Apple Jams and rehearsals and stuff. So, it's $100+ for an album plus. But this is Life in Surround. So, what's the verdict on the Blu-ray Atmos? Bottom line, it's very well done. It's going to make you wonder if it's going to be pretty tame, vis-a-vis the first 2 tracks. Two of Us, Dig a Pony. There's really just some kind of rhythmic guitar work in the surrounds, being pretty stripped down tracks. I feel like they're mixed appropriately. Then Across the Universe comes on, and you have vocal and main accompaniment up in front, and that specterization allocated out into the surrounds, and begin to have some hope that this is going to be an interesting Atmos experience. That's continued with I, Me, Mine. Dig It is just kind of a short interlude track anyway, and then Let It Be comes on, and if ever there's a song on this album that needs to just completely nail the Atmos experience, it's this. And I gotta tell you that by the time the band comes in, it is so uplifting. That moment when the drums come in, and then all of a sudden you've got the full organ, choir, supportive guitars, a little bit of an uptick in emotion on the vocal. It's a spiritual experience. It's bringing chills to my body just to think of it. I want to go into my Atmos room and put it back on. Man, yeah, they just nailed Let It Be. Maggie May, another short track. It's more kind of like a segue to me. I Got a Feelin's great. One After 909, it's always been one of my favorite songs from this album. Extremely well done. Long and Winding Road is another one that just really capitalizes on what Atmos has to offer. You've got the supportive, ethereal parts all around you. I hate to use the cliche, but the Atmos creates this tremendous, atmospheric kind of feel all around you. And For You Blue and Get Back finish strong. They have the energy that they need. Oh man, I recommend the Atmos. I don't think it was possible, given the source material, to just uniformly treat every track the same. The Atmos standouts are going to be Across the Universe, I, Me, Mine, Let It Be, One After 909, and Long and Winding Road. Not necessarily in that order, but by no means does the album mix fall flat at any point. And as far as despecterization goes, I feel like they really hit the mark here. They despecterized in a big way for George Harrison's last set, and not very much for some of the mixes on like John Lennon's Imagine. But here, as Giles says in his intro, they felt like they needed to honor that production choice by the Beatles, but to make the best of it as well. So none of the specterized additions, as far as I can hear, are removed, but emphasis is adjusted on many tracks. I find this to be just thoroughly enjoyable. It really doesn't sound like a Spectorized album to me. I feel like the orchestral and choir and various other accompaniments really suit the songs. And being one of my favorite Beatles albums, I was really concerned that this was going to disappoint and really hoping that it wouldn't. And fortunately, it hasn't. And it hasn't. To just steep myself a little bit more in the time period of this album, I pulled out my Beatles anthology, given to me for my birthday by a very dear friend, and put on Chapter 8, which covered this era. And reading Sir Paul's foreword, it was just very touching to get some of that input. And I like what Sir Paul had to say, that with the movie coming up, the 3-part version of Let It Be called Get Back, restored and recut by Peter Jackson, he says that that movie shows this time period as a band that was still finding joy creating together and loving what they do, and not so much emphasizing their breakup. You know, rock bands break up, but this was still a work of art, and one that they had some good times writing and creating, performing, recording, playing live for their last time. It's quite an interesting period, and like I said, this is way up there for me for Beatles albums. I came to them, you know, after their career was long said and done, and have usually gravitated toward, you know, the back half of their career, and just find so many tracks on this album to be compelling, and rocking out when they need to, and being, you know, sentimental and thoughtful, and just, you know, gentle and sensitive when they need to. Yeah, this is just a great album. It has received a great deluxe set treatment, and I hope that if you're interested, you can find it at a price point that works for you. Again, if the deluxe is just too much to go in for, you can try a streaming service. A lot of times they have free trials, so you can enjoy it that way, or at least maybe even just audition it, check it out that way, see if you agree. Just so happy to have this. Happy for every Beatles release that kind of pushes the music further. Abbey Road was tremendous. The John Lennon recent set, Give Me Some Truth, at least the back half of it, had very compelling Atmos and really helped me to get into some songs that I wasn't familiar with or hadn't connected with. The recent George Harrison album, All Things Must Pass, I only knew a few songs, and now I just really love that album. So, man, that's really what I find to be the greatest value of this kind of thing, these deluxe reissues, that it gets the music back out there, sometimes to long, devoted fans, sometimes to new listeners. And Let It Be Deluxe has achieved that. I hope that if you track it down, either in a smaller format or in vinyl or whatever, that you enjoy it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that it encourages you to enjoy Let It Be somehow. Even just pull out your old vinyl or CD, stream it on YouTube or wherever. It's such a great album, and I'm just so happy to have revisited it and to have been touched by it and to be sharing it with you. So that's really all I have to say. I'm enjoying it, I recommend it, and I hope that it brings joy to many of you as well. So like I said, please like this video, subscribe, ring the notification bell, leave your comments below, let everyone else know what you think about Let It Be, including this deluxe set. And until next time, live life in surround.